which is focused on delivering customer experience. And so thank you once again, Sebastian, for covering this topic in your session today.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining today. The goal is of this 1 hour is to give you an idea on how to advise your clients on really how to combine several great tools to deliver customer journeys and marketing automation with tools like the Dynamics Marketing, the Customer Insights, and a few others I'm going to show you. Furthermore, giving you some business basics to really understand the need of the clients which are going to work with this. That is one of the main tasks I'm currently doing. So I'm advising our clients in Europe from the company Adesso to really optimize their customer engagement and their customer experience. And one of the main reasons that we usually are having with our clients questions is, who is the real customer? So there's actually some question that we very often have to dive into with their clients, with our clients, because they have their data sources with all the necessary information of their clients and some finance and operation systems and some Lotus Notes, yes, even Lotus Notes Access database and other ones. So they just really don't understand who their client is. So is this the real Slim Shady, how I would love to call it, or is this the real Slim Shady or their client who they're going to work with or who they want to aim their marketing at it? And this causes usually a lot of problems. And how we can solve those problems to make that unknown client, or probably that false picture that our clients are having, into a real original 360-degree picture is the aim that I'm going to discuss with you. So we're going to have some slides here with business knowledge. Yeah. So like, how can we create personas? How could be a process look on moving the client step by step further to really get their systems together? And then I have prepared a demo system, but here I need to tell you already one bad thing is the last update which I had for a client demo, I just ruined my demo systems where I integrated all of that. So I'm going to have had a workaround today here. So you're not really seeing an original demo system live. So it's a more slide demo system, a click-through demo, but that's totally fine because the necessary thing which why I do this session is to give you an idea to try new tools and to try to combine the business aspects and the IT aspects here. And the reason why I have come up with this session was from the starting points which I had given you is mainly several KPIs which I found, which we have been proving with our clients already, is that most of the shoppers, 73% of the shoppers say that customer experience and brand values are important. Purchasing and making decisions how to engage with a company. But only one of the main reasons from why this can work is if you have a known customer. And this does not work when you have silo systems, from finance and operations to probably just some false profiles or just some enrichments in the customer insights. And the that democratizing data access drives the business success. This is one of the main reasons why we need to leverage the business to work with our solutions. And Dynamics, we just saw it in the Power Platforms sessions before, and we'll see it later too, is really perfect for this because everyone can access the data and everyone can work with the data and use it. And this also comes in with the point that insights for having isolated analysis. This means we need to get rid of all of the boring reports that we are having, which are probably several weeks old, but having access to real-time data and real-time usage of the data. If you remember marketing, Dynamics Marketing from the starting point, a couple of years ago. My first session in Munich was about the dynamics marketing, which was then a little bit fresher. It has had no real-time marketing capabilities. Now it has that. And during the years while I've been implementing those tools and also with leveraging the customer insights with it, I saw also in the project that the marketing return on investment was able by this usage. And the main part which you will be asking yourself and with your business is, what do those pictures have in common here? It's unfortunate it's virtual, so I would ask you to give some ideas inside, but let me answer this simple. We need to have an interaction, and the interaction with our clients, with our own clients when we are doing consulting and integration is key, but also for our clients with interaction with their target group. Will always have the challenge. This can be in personal, in touch. One of the greatest things that we can build chance to interact with all of your clients. Will you service or other chances to interact with you on a virtual basis? At times you might not be having people around. So the real question is, what is the next best action? The next best action is based on patterns which are known. For instance, our LinkedIn interactions or having some profiles there. Or with having unknown information, which could be also enrichments which we can get into the customer insights. So third-party data.
Hiya, Zach. So Zach, sorry to interfere on with your session. I think the attendees were all experiencing some sound disruption from your side. I think it might be worth, if you try switching off your camera,
Sure.
it may actually help with the bandwidth. Hopefully that will resolve the problem, possibly, because it was cutting off constantly. So could you try again and see if that works?
Okay, let's see if that works. We are having here differently. So please tell me if it's not working well. So I repeat.
All right. So Sebastian, yeah, it's still breaking up, to be honest. Your voice is breaking up every few seconds. Okay, let's see what happens. I think Sebastian is just going to try rejoining. So thank you once again for your patience there while Sebastian tries to rejoin the session. Let's see what's happened there. I think we've lost him completely now. Let's take a look. So he's on, but he stopped sharing for a while. Let's see if Sebastian will rejoin because his sound was cutting out. So we've recommended to disable the video and see if that helps, but it seems as though that didn't actually help with the sound. So let's see if he's able to reconnect and proceed with his session. Hello there, Sebastian. So we've lost Sebastian completely at the moment. Let's try and... Hello, Sebastian. So I'm wondering if we should have just let him carry on even with the sound disruption, given that... Oh, yeah, we can hear
Do
you
you
again.
hear me now a bit better?
We can hear you crystal clear, Sebastian. Yes, we can.
Great. I've been switching to the mobile phone for this and just sharing my
Oh,
screen
dear.
here.
Okay.
All right, we experience real struggles lately with the Deutsche Telekom because they're operating here and try to improve our network cable here. So let's see if it's working.
Well, your sound is definitely better. So if you could try sharing your screen, then that'd be a huge win. Because your sound is now crystal clear, Zach. Sebastian, sorry. Yeah.
Zach is totally fine.
Fantastic.
I'm sharing my screen. Do you see it?
No, we don't. We don't see a screen. No.
Okay. Let's try again. Now I'm sharing. I hope you see it.
No, we still don't see a screen. We can only hear you very clearly, but we can't see a screen.
Strange. Because it's telling me that I'm sharing my screen.
Oh dear. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. Really strange.
I guess we'll just have to try and... Oh, there we go. You're back.
It took a while. Okay, great.
Fantastic. Hooray. Fantastic. Okay. So I apologize for that, Sebastian. So back over to you.
Thanks. No, it's important that you see the slides because otherwise there is no fun in just listening to me. So I start again with this slide. The question which our clients, and when it's coming to marketing automation, data-driven marketing, or customer experience which they have is, what is actually the next best action to improve the experience with which our client has? And especially in a digital way, this is a much higher challenge than when you have an in-store or personal contact, because virtually you need to sort the client in a segment and have patterns. So experiences, interests, and all of those informations combined to have marketing automation or any kind of automation towards him to move them on their customer journey forward. And then Dynamics, Microsoft has had a couple of years ago less good tools to really solve that challenge for our clients. It got better. The Dynamics marketing has now the capability to do push notifications or nearly real-time marketing automation, but is still not yet comparable to Adobe or Marketo. But what we are going to do and what we are really being able to do is to move data parcels into a solution. And Microsoft is one of those strong companies who deliver solutions from all business capabilities, from finance and operations to customer engagement, to really combine that. So this is a very strong platform. As a gap or as a difference towards the best of breed solutions like we're having with Adobe and Salesforce, who are just focusing on other tools, Microsoft can give you also the commerce solutions to really deliver great customer experience. I'm going to show you this later in our demo session, where I'm just going to show you some click-through slides, because I don't think that the real demo would not really be sufficient currently with my network problems. I don't want to have a breakup there again. So let's move on here. Creating experiences with our clients is key therefore, and only knowing the customer needs will enable us to create the best services. And we need to work here with machine learning and artificial intelligence to really know the needs, and that from based out of a segment. The segment can be done with several different informations, and here are some data which we actually can need. Not going to dig into every section here, so let me point out some which I really love to have there. First of all, the business model from our clients needs to be really also fitting towards customer experience. Yeah, like how can a company really move or leverage customer experience with marketing automation, perhaps self-service service or other types of service, and a combination of in-store experience and a virtual experience. So they need to have innovative products which are also really fitting towards a digital service module or be fitting into marketing automation. From the business models, they need to have operations which are working there. The operations need to be also working with a cost transformation and an operating model. Risk management with our clients, especially when they purchase virtually, is important. You need to know if this is a client who can be trusted. We had a customer here who had the challenge that they needed to check the credit score. In Germany, we call them Schufa, from clients when they wanted to have a credit, a credit by the client. Yeah. This needed to be also included into a customer profile. There are many ISVs which whom we can include into this, but this is important to also have them into the business model there, or the idea of having a customer journey there. Furthermore, we need to have the workforce on it, people who are able to really work with the tools we're going to have in implementation. While we're talking about customer insights, very often it is thought that anyone from the business can create their KPIs or segments in it. That might be true until a specific point, but you still need to have data scientists who are able to work with the data, which you're going to import there. So the data and analytics file there part is relevant when you're thinking about what do I want to build and who am I going to target to, and in what type of data do I need to export further on, and which data platforms can I include there. So the technology there is the next big challenge for the clients. Many do still have on-premise systems, especially in their finance and operations, ERP world, SAP for instance. Is there a big benefit in including them in such customer experience optimizations, or can we exclude them? Or another part is there, do we need to shift them into the cloud to work with higher benefits? The last thing there where we have huge challenge is who is actually the customer and how can we do frictionless interactions with our clients so that there is no gap in our exchange, just like I had. If you want to provide your clients with a seamless interaction or a great shopping experience, but then your website is not reachable or your portal is not working, then the client might just jump and leave you and be not a known customer, or even share a negative experience there. See, the biggest parts is there. We can easily deliver the technology, but we need to advise our clients in thinking a little bit more out of the box, also including the operations and the business models, and probably just try to find a chance to go to a proof of concept or an MVP with them, where we just improve the customer experience for parts of their business models. This is working in a B2B and into a B2C environment in both ways. because it's simple and easier to find there a little bit of a spot where we can advise and improve with the technology and with some hard business consulting that we can do. And it's about the alignment of it. So we can do and work with our clients, but the best thing is to develop a roadmap. And later on at the end, I'm going to show you how we can develop roadmaps based on the customer journey and with personas to see in which spots improvement is possible. The analytics is the biggest part. With Azure Machine Learning and with customer insights and other tools, we were able to use analytical ways. And most of our clients currently are working in an environment where they have descriptive analytics, means we see what happened. Dynamics marketing has such capabilities where they're going to tell you how many people opened an email, who forwarded it, or which bounced. This is really descriptive. We have a single source for customer engagement and all actions in all of the current Microsoft tools there. But where we want to go is into a prescriptive way, means what should happen. What should happen is the biggest challenge, is world class, because we have insights who are going to give us an idea how a client is going to react into an email or into any kind of different offers through to machine learning models and through experiences which they had in the past. But this is a step-by-step improvement of the customer engagement and can only be done with it only be done if they have a real high infrastructure with this. When we're coming into such projects, we need to find a way to develop with our clients KPIs, which help them to understand why did something happen. In the Dynamics marketing, we have A/B testing, where we can see why the people clicked on a link or did not click on a link. But still, there needs to be a data scientist who is going to analyze that, because the business often does not have it. And then we are able to do the predictive test and learning thing. Those are quick answers to questions which we can have when we are trying to improve marketing, sales, and service. But for this, we need to have the right infrastructure out of it. Whoop, that did not work like I wanted. There it is. We have the data silos which we are going to work with. External data and internal data. Just ask yourself if when you were working with your clients, if you ever had the discussions with them, if they want to have geo data into it, like the GPS data from simple smartphones or mobile devices when they're using the app or when they're browsing the website. This is a huge challenge because you have the GDPR, which needs to be accepted by your client, by the customers there. Social data. Dynamics marketing gives you an easy access to LinkedIn data, but that is business. The business does not usually show the real interest of the people when you compare them to Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or others or other things there. Then we have partner data. So could be, for instance, payback. And you have internal data, point of sales, how does the client pay? Is he using a credit card or any kind of other point or checkout way? You have your client data in general, the performance, and web. I love to build up then the ingestion based on a Synapse pipeline with a data factory into then the customer insights. Azure Data Lake and the storage there gives us a higher performance and is making an ingestion into customer insights quite easier because you have the chance to work with the data in the Azure Data Lake and then use it with the Synapse pipeline again to have it in analytical services. It's the easiest way to really leverage the different data that you're having there. And it's also the easiest way to work with on-prem data or one-time uploads from old databases like older app data that we had in the media sector there. And this gives you then the chance to optimize and orchestrate your technology. You can optimize all of the campaigns focusing on costs, on the performance, but also on the scalability. And it's the biggest point here in having such a build up for data-driven marketing with Azure because of the scalability which you're having there, with also the cloud technologies. Naturally, there are many other typical let's say platform approaches there, where you can save the customer data or the data in general. We have also clients who are working with Snowflake, for instance, but I prefer the Azure Data Lake there. This helps us this build up to understand then the customer, the needs, the roles and the situations and the behavior. We can really optimize the engagement because we have a higher scalability, and also can easily define based on the target, the data source, in which time frame we need to have an update there. And we also are able to use those informations which we are having to create new offers for our client. We usually are talking about marketing, but we can also improve service offerings there, or our product development. So when we're coming also into research department, this is giving us then the surprising effect to offer clients in an easier way content which is relevant for them, and that on a proactive way. Yeah, services that are effortless and based on the decisions the client has done in the past, because in the customer insights and with such a build up from the technological point and which we have seen, we're able to deliver better segments and better export sources. This leads then later on to such a new CX development model. Perhaps you have seen the iteration loop there is collect, analyze, test, and learn. And we can leverage there also the Azure machine learning and the artificial intelligence in this setup. The customer gives us data. We collect the data, use it with in the data analytics way, with the data scientists, moving then up to touch points definition out of the customer view, create insights, so knowledge which we are going to use and learn with them, build recommendations, therefore actions, the next best action, and pushing this towards the customers on his preferred data source and channel at the time he desires to have it. And we get easily a feedback just in time. We see if he's reading an email, or when we are having a checkout, for instance, or if you ever, this is a different example, have the McDonald's app there and you allow them to use your geolocation, and that they send push notifications, they're going to send you coupons when you pass by a restaurant and do not purchase it. They save this data, or even when you are inside the McDonald's and you bought something, you very often get new coupons because they see that you probably have not bought an ice cream there, and you get instant feedback, and the client can, or your client can, use the data collection there and push it directly again into the Azure Data Lake. This is the approach which we have developed to build up a new CX development for our client. And those are the solutions we are going to use. And now I'm going to switch then after this into the short demo. Again, sorry, I'm going just to do some click-through demo there because the internet and my demo system is not running smoothly today. So if there is someone is interested later on, I can show you that also at a later time. But we have been building up that CX excellence, how we could call this, with Dynamics marketing and customer insights, and then Dynamics commerce. Dynamics commerce there is one key feature because it gives us all the F&O capabilities which we need if we don't want to include an on-prem ERP or older ERP. Synapse and Analytics is also going to be a part of it, the same as Microsoft Advertising. Frankly saying there, Microsoft Advertising is, not including Google Ads. So most of our clients also want to have Google Ads because Microsoft Advertising does not offer all of the channels. And the newest one is which we are using here is Microsoft Azure Purview to have a data governance service there. Especially here in Germany or in Europe, the GDPR topics are really crucial. So another point where we have Azure Purview and Customer Insights there to really have a well designed GDPR conform engagement with our clients. Yes, so let's move into the demo. Again, I needed to build us something, so I'm very sorry about it. It's going to be a Contoso demo. Just take a sip there. We are building lately many websites with the commerce setup, and the biggest challenge that we are having here with our clients is to get a known customer. So that we can do really targeted marketing activities there. The first step which we are using here was the dynamics marketing, and we are linking there the websites which we are building with the commerce tool and having several event triggers there. The event triggers are usually then working when you have a known customer. So the attribute is that we are having defined a high lifetime value client. We see this here, the attribute. And the attributes are coming from customer insights. And we need to have a ranking there. What is defining a high lifetime value customer? If it is one, we're going to have a channel optimization here. It means we need to send him a next best offer. We have several capabilities, meanwhile, in Dynamics Marketing, from push notifications, SMS, but also emails. We see this at the left point here. I prefer usually to define inside the segments in which channel the client wants to be engaged. That's why the consent center is one of the biggest issues there. To get them to build up and sign up to create a profile for you, because only then it is a known customer and you are able to send an email, for instance. I rarely see a client building up SMSs or push notifications. Just McDonald's, for instance, inside the app is doing this, but that's also a rare thing. The Dynamics Marketing is offering you now also a new capability, which is content ideas. The content ideas is built up on the segment where you want to send an email towards. But for this, again, you need a good segment and you need to know which interest the client has. In a couple of slides before, and I showed you that 4 or more insights are key to deliver great content. And this also marks how a good segment is built. You need to have at least 4 or 5 insights. So this means real interactions with the clients to send them virtual or engage them in a virtual basis. In store, this can differ because you see the face and the movement or the body reaction of your client. Virtually, we are not able to do this. To get a bigger input from your client, you can use A/B testing here. Most companies don't do A/B testing by emails, which I think is sad, because you send out to 1 or 2 segments different emails with slight variations in it and get a feedback which email template has been received or has had the higher interaction there. And this is that's why this is really an important thing. Nonetheless, Dynamics Marketing gives you ideas what you can do. Check out our latest hot beverages, for instance, or get them 10% off for your next purchase. And that is great. we are combining here the coupons from Dynamics Commerce. We can even tailor them to a specific person so that only they are able to work with it, and then send it out when we see that they do not finish their checkout. A great combination between Dynamics Commerce and Dynamics Marketing here to really tailor that. Yeah, several ideas which we are having here, how we can use them. We can also trigger that back and give them an input if this idea is useful, yes or not, and then finalize our email and turn again into the final customer journey here. And then we have the customer insights part. The profile add-ons are really one of the keys which we are usually working with. We have the same view in with our clients in any Dynamics biz apps, marketing, sales, and service, with the same view and the same interactions. We have the activity timelines, including the point of sales orders from our Microsoft Commerce. And if we're using also the point of sales tool in stores, for instance, we're having again the chance to have a loyalty mapping there between our clients. Or what is also a great thing, if we have our own loyalty program, we can also map the shopping carts, etc., into the customer insights there. A strong capability which Microsoft is offering there. The affinities which we're having here are all enrichments, which we're getting from external third-party sources. What is a great point here is if you think about the enrichments, you can also get other external companies' data inside there. We have, for instance, something like the Schufa, so the financial risk of a client there, or the geodata we had included for media company, so that they can see in which area the people do watch which television program. The data sources, again, we usually just have the data sources via Microsoft Azure, but the biggest issue which we are having is that we find the key how to combine the data with an email address or a customer number in a unification process in the matching data there. Here. The entities which we're seeing here with the selected field are really crucial. And lately, my Microsoft Customer Insights is offering also a precision there on how well the AI is mapping the data. I tend to use a high precision in the first run and then manually optimize the data there, because if you have at the beginning a huge load of customer data and you have a low precision there, you tend to create no good customer profiles, and you want to have a success with your marketing campaigns. That's why I tend to have higher precision and not a low there. We have here then the point where we are working with our clients and trying to analyze together with data scientists why we have unmatched data. This is a challenging part because clients usually tend to have very old data or have data fields where they don't want to have have a challenging registration process for their clients, because the more information you need to enter and the more precise it is for a client, we know this all by ourselves usually, the less we are able to really enter the data and provide this to the client. The enrichments here, because I need to watch a little bit at the time, the enrichment we are having here is really a big challenge because you have to pay a lot of money there. We tend to work with brands and we tend to work with the demographic data, or then purchase with our clients by ourselves new data which is tailored to their needs. So I'm just skipping through that here. by the brands and by the interest, because I want to go to Microsoft advertising then. The Microsoft advertising, the consent preview which we are having here, is one of the most important things when we're coming to the GDPR conform input of data. Because when you're doing marketing and you want to deliver really great customer experience, you need to have clients who give you the agreement that you're allowed to send them information. But you should not should always keep in mind that this needs to be documented and that this needs to be an easy way. That's why we use the consent center from Microsoft Dynamics to build this up. In the purview, we are having the data mapping for this. And we can have the different data sources for the consent. The interesting part is here that many companies already have in their ERP or F&O system consent informations of their clients, because they have had in the past several contracts. And this can be used by Microsoft Purview there. The data sources are then mapped, as you're seeing here. A typical Azure SQL table, which then is also imported into the customer insights again. And then we are having the Synapse analytics, where we can see the SQL script for or towards the customer contacts and all the documented interaction which we're having inside there. This helps us then to build up customer lifetime value, and those training models, there are some out of the box. Those are good, but I prefer to build such models later on, or predictions also with our client by ourselves, because they have a lot of different definitions or requirements regarding the customer lifetime value. Nonetheless, it's a great way first to start with the built-in training models there, to have a customer with a higher lifetime spending, and then building based on them a Microsoft advertising, a targeted campaign for them. Again, you can also work with this with Google Ads, but I tend to start with Microsoft advertising and then forward this towards Google Ads, because you need to have a start somewhere. And working with Google Ads or Google Analytics, especially when it's coming into customer insights, is a huge challenge, because you need to have very often the newest version of Google Analytics and make extensions to it. But it's easy to start with the audience score here to optimize then your homepage, build up on the commerce sector, and have then finally Promote IQ. Promote IQ was newly bought by Microsoft. We had one run with them in one project. It's really a great thing, because you get a built-in dashboard and key metrics to measure your marketing campaign and success. And the biggest part here, which makes it easy to work with, is the native integration into the Dynamics world in commerce. That's the end of the demo, so I'm switching back. There I have 15 minutes left, but hopefully I can answer some questions there. But what I want to give you at hand here is the following thing. We are working every time with personas when we're advising our clients on how to optimize the customer journeys. I love the tool UX Pressure, where I've been working very often with, because you have great export capabilities there, and we have two different personas which we establish. First of all, the user persona, which is based on market research and the experience there. Those are the people who will be using the product. A huge difference when we're building personas with our clients is the buyer persona, especially in the B2B sector, because the buyer persona, this can also be in the B2C environment there, when you have people who are buying online in a store. For instance, my wife and I, we share one Amazon account. So we have so the buyer and the user persona differs, but that's what we're building with our clients there. And we focus on using real market research data, but also the data which the client has internally. Then we create with them a user journey. The user journey is one time seen as it is, so is a current analysis on how and in which way we distribute the marketing content or content by itself, and how the employee is currently working with them. Because the tools, which often exist already, have a dedicated process. We need to analyze and understand this also internally. Then we have the changes needed in the unify, consolidate, insight, and the interruption way to create a status which is to be. This is the customer experience across the different channels by the tools which I just have briefly shown to you. And we have the employee empowerment, how we engage with them and how they are able to use it. Relevant, there is the benefits. So here in the middle there, which KPIs are going to change and which do we want to change? Churn risk, turnover, cost reduction, or then improving the net promoter score. All relevant KPIs which the customer insights has already built in, but which you can also build inside the customer insights. To then have a classical customer journey. Like we have seen it, we browse the products in a web store, we receive perhaps a personalized offer. Also via the checkout, this can be, or if you stop your checkout, that then there a push notification can be there. But also, how can we improve the purchases along the usage? I had a client who was they sold or sell bicycles, and they have also a large store, online store. And they said, okay, we have very often a service or tickets by our clients where they need to have a repair of the bicycle. So they created out of those informations which they gathered by their clients, dedicated service offerings which they could purchase alongside the usage or during the maintenance. Yeah, and also ask them to leave a review. All of those things can then also be automized based on a segment which we are able to build inside the customer insights. And finally, this is then the combination of those customer journeys which I've been showing you. The journeys are based on personas, and every customer journey includes a next best action. By the way, this is also in UX Precious you see seen in the upper right corner. When we are using such an approach and building such customer journeys and personas together with their clients, this is what they need to understand why customer insights, dynamics marketing, and Purview and all of those other tools are a huge benefit for them. The technology behind it, setting up the systems, is not the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge is to understand how they are going to be used. And while you're building up such journeys, you understand also the usage of the tools and also which content is relevant for the target group. The right infrastructure here again, how we have been seeing this. So we have in this area the F&O, the back office. I love to work here with the commerce tool because it offers all of the relevant F&O capabilities plus vouchers, which can be tailored on a user. We are having the point of sales. When we are having then there also in the brick and mortar stores, for instance, we have also all of the Kasse, the cashier, who can use the Microsoft point of sales, and where we can also include the loyalty accounts there. And the next swap is wow, there's a typo, sorry. Channel, this means channel. Then we're having the web shop, which is linked to the commerce tool. And the web shop is easy to set up, but offers you also a connection and or integration out of the box into the CE sector, which we are having here. So the customer engagement sector there. What I have left out in this picture here is the Power Platform. With one simple, with one idea behind it, you can always build a Power Apps. You can always include portals. This is something you always should consider when you're trying to optimize, especially the internal usage of those tools. We are very strong also in the financial sector, and we're building also customer insights apps for the financial industry, which is working really brilliantly because we have all of the relevant information then on a one device. It's a big challenge because the user adoption and the change management, which is coming with such an approach here, is very often one of the main things we need to tackle with our clients because it is a new mindset coming here towards this. And that's actually it. Thank you for your patience, and please again, thank you also for understanding that my system simply did not run well today because my internet is simply not working properly. I hope nonetheless that you got something out of it and some new ideas on what you could build with the tools I've been showing you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sebastian, for managing to get through that. And I think you did a great job because, Sebastian, I think one of the key things you highlighted was around the strategy around customer experience, which is far more important than just, well, let's not use the word simply, but to deliver the technology, because having the technology on its own is not going to satisfy the organization's requirements for delivering customer experience. It is definitely a strategic principle that needs to be clarified before delivering and developing those solutions. So thank you for emphasizing on that point, Sebastian, because often customers get confused. They think by simply purchasing an off-the-shelf system is going to solve their customer experience challenges, but that's not true, is it?
It's not true, no.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, just looking in the questions, lots of great feedback from Adnan Zingo and from James. Hi, James Vaughan. Yeah, James Vaughan's online. Fantastic, James. James knows a lot about customer experience as well. So he's saying really great session. Fantastic. So yeah, we've got a couple of minutes, guys, for any questions. I know that Sebastian has kind of addressed the principles around customer experience and the considerations that need to be made before you go ahead and start to deliver. I can see a hand up in the questions. Let's see who's got their hand up. So I think Mohammed has got his hand up. Mohammed, can you please post your question in the chat? And we'll read it out to Sebastian if you do have a question. Okay, whilst we wait for that question, is there anyone else waiting to ask a question? We have a couple of minutes left before we move on to the next session. So any other questions for Sebastian? I can imagine, Sebastian, you work with very large clients who have quite a complex customer experience requirements with many connected applications. So I can imagine you dealing with many of these large retail or media organizations. And so are there any other questions in the chat whilst we wait? Let's take a look. Right, okay. Some great feedback from Yasmin and from Alina and from, okay, great. So there's no other questions, it looks like, Sebastian.
That's fine.
Oh, Sebastian, final thing is, Sebastian, do you have any final comments to make before the end of the session?
No, thank you for having me here. It is a pleasure to pitch to explain how we are pitching this and how we approach such project. And I hope that it's helping you also in your customer engagement projects with your clients. Feel free to reach out via LinkedIn to me. There is just one Sebastian Zack, so there's the German pronunciation there, and I'm happy to support you there if you have any need.
Thank you, Sebastian. Are you able to share your contact details in the chat?
I can share that, and there is one question. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, guys, make sure you should connect with Sebastian. He's actually